Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Jared Glant. Wow, we are bright there. Jared Glant, and this is Young Hustlers every Thursday, noon, East Coast Standard Time. We jump on here, we give you a couple tips, right? A couple tools, some strategies that you can use to get ahead in business and in life. And this week is no different. We're doing the same thing, the same time, the same way. So if you're watching here on Facebook Live, if you're watching on Grant Cardone TV, if you're on podcast, if you're on iTunes, we're glad you're here, man. Glad you spend a little bit of time with us every week. So today I want to talk about 3 tips, 3 ingredients for sales success. And you know, when I was trying to think about what I was going to talk about today, you know, I started thinking back to like myself personally, and I think what you'll notice is like from anybody, but from me personally, and Grant also, that when we are talking about something, it's typically something that we have our attention on, right? Like it's something that we've talked about or something that we're going through on any given point in time. And so for me today, it was like reminding myself of the basics. And like this morning on my drive in, I do a Facebook stream every day and give like a little lesson I learned from Grant. And so as we're kind of going into the day to day, I'm like, what am I going to do the show about? And I said, you know, I'm going to do it about some like fundamental things that you need to have in order to be successful with sales. And I think one of the mistakes that people make sometimes is, you know, they're like, hey, I want some more closes. I need word tracks. I want the perfect cold call script. And I want all that stuff right now. But the problem is most people skip over like the foundation of sales and in the theory of what it takes to truly be successful. And some of the theory points that I want to cover today are things that no matter what, like as you grow and develop as a salesperson, if you don't have these in place and you don't know how to come back and revisit them and develop them, remind yourself about them, then what you're going to do is you're going to start stacking all kinds of skill on top of a weak foundation. I had a customer that we're working with, and he was like, you know, I want to see results like now. And I said, well, I can get you results now, but they're not going to be results that you can sustain, because what's going to happen is your people are going to be duplicating rather than understanding. And so if you want to build longevity in your sales results and your confidence and your ability, then you have to understand all of the kind of the nuts and bolts that go behind, right? So if you know, the saying is if you don't know why, you'll never know how. And so that's why I wanted to revisit the some of these basic things. And so today I'm going to cover 3 ingredients to sales success. I do want to give a quick shout out to GrantCardoneBootcamp.com. Our boot camp's coming up July 21st, 22nd, 23rd. We've got 3 days. Hey, will you do me a favor? Go grab the workbook off my desk for the boot camp. It's a big, huge, thick, spiral-bound book. It's going to be a 3-day event where we are going to dig down deep into the process. And really what our goal is to have people come to this event with us for 3 days, get some time with GC. It's a really small, intimate gathering, less than 100 people. And we've got, I think, less than 15 or 20 spots left. So it's almost full. We're going to be at the 5-star Turnberry Resort here in Miami. And we're going to dig into the business. And the goal really here is to spend 3 days helping you identify the problems, the stops, the things that are preventing you from getting to that next level in your business. So this is the workbook right now. It is, as it sits today, 165 pages. So we're going to spend 3 days deep dive into sales process, into your prospect, into your product, into helping you define your pitch, how to create influence, how to persuade people, how to negotiate deals, follow up, you know, have a brilliant cold call script and an intelligent follow-up strategy, and working on the cadence of your process and your follow-up sequence. So all those things are going to be covered. It's going to be an awesome event. You can go buy tickets. We're still selling them. We've closed out our first round of early bird pricing, and so this is kind of the last round of early bird discount pricing before we reach our final price before the event. You can get more information on that at GrantCardoneBootcamp.com. And let's get into the show, right? So 3 ingredients to sales success, and I want to go over this because I think that sales is a recipe. It's combining a lot of different things all into one pot. And if you do everything right, the food comes out tasting the way that you want it. And so these kind of are three really, really fundamental ingredients to have a good meal or to get a deal, right? Number one is commitment. Now, commitment is something that people always bypass. It's something that they always jump over and they minimize it. And so when we talk about commitment, it's like, how committed are you to like your goal? How committed are you to your company? How committed are you to your product? How committed are you to your skill? And so I kind of break commitment down into a couple categories. Number one, first is your craft. Like, how committed are you to your craft? Now, whether you are a painter or an artist and you're constantly painting pictures and you're researching old artists and you're going around to try and find different inspiration. For a salesperson, it's different, right? For a salesperson, it's your craft is your ability to communicate with people. It's taking a critical look at your sales presentation and trying to figure out where you can improve. It's being aware of the areas of opportunity that you have and the areas that you're deficient in. And so like Steve Spray is a good example of this. He's been with us for a pretty long time, since he was just a little pup. I think I was a young pup too at the same time. But he's been here for like 4 years. And whenever we do coaching sessions together, he's so aware of the things that he needs to work on, because he's constantly going in and he's constantly trying to make tweaks and refinements. And so when I sit down with him, he's like, hey, this is exactly where I need help. And so his commitment to his craft comes out because he's constantly trying to improve his skill and ability. Second thing is, you got to be committed to the company, right? Like, what are you doing to get excited about the company? What are you doing to stay engaged and get people motivated and excited and inspired about your company? And I'm going to go into the last one here after the break. So we'll see you right back. This is Young Hustler.
There is only one company to work for in the smart home industry. Skyline Security right now is looking for the best of the Grant Cardone following to join their team and expand financially and professionally. Go to joinskyline.com to register. Labeled by Inc. 5000 as the fastest growing company for the last 2 years in a row, you get to protect families, grow your wealth, and join a team of top producers. Skyline is looking for great people. Go to joinskyline.com. That's joinskyline.com to get started on a brand new 10x career path. Go to joinskyline.com to register. It's what we live for. Financial freedom is created from opportunity. At Symmetry Financial, we are committed to getting hard workers, talented individuals who love to sell, who love to help others create a strong six-figure income. If you ever wanted to have everything you wanted in life, Symmetry Financial holds the key to get you there. We want you, the top talent, the best in the business, to join our team. Sign up now at sfgcareers.biz. That's sfgcareers.biz. Sammy and Lauren Rebstock are looking for individuals motivated to be a part of a team and have a great opportunity to expand by becoming part of a global movement and changing their financial condition. Make upwards of six figures and get a job, a career, and a lifestyle that will change your life and give you financial freedom. Sign up now at explorelifevantage@gmail.com. That's explorelifevantage@gmail.com.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Young Hustlers. Every Thursday, noon, East Coast Standard Time. We come here and bring you tips and strategies to get you in a position to win more in life. My name is Jared Glant. My counterpart, GC, Uncle G, Grant Cardone, he's out of the office this week. So I'm here with some ingredients for your sales success. Before we went into the break, I was talking about commitment being vital to your success. And so commitment, we were talking about, it applies to your craft, developing your skill, training, evaluating yourself. You can do this by recording phone calls, videotaping yourself if that's applicable. Being committed to your product as well. Like we have a training product, and we are a sales improvement company. Like when people work with us, they want to improve their sales. They want to grow their sales. They want to make more money. So for me, commitment to my product doesn't just mean understanding our product as sales training, but like I want to understand how to grow people's sales, because that's ultimately what our customers want. So if I can provide value above and beyond just our product and our service, then ultimately I become more valuable as a person. So got to be committed to your craft. You have to be committed to your product, and then you have to be committed to your company. Wow, that was kind of a cool little thing you did there. You got to be committed to your company. Like when people are genuinely excited about where they work and it creates a completely different experience for the customer. You know, you can sense this by, you know, going into a Starbucks where everybody's happy or a Starbucks where everybody's not happy. You're like, man, these people are just here for a job. You know, some McDonald's, if you go to, I haven't been to a McDonald's in a while, but man, some of those people just aren't happy about, you know, making French fries and Big Macs. So your commitment to your company and the culture of your company is really important because it has a massive influence on how you communicate with your customer. So commitment, number one, most important ingredient that you have in sales, commitment. Number two, conviction. Conviction is your ability to demonstrate your belief that your product, that your service, that your company is the only solution, the best solution, the least expensive solution, the only option on the face of this earth for your customer to solve the problem that they have. And conviction is something that needs to be built. It's like a muscle, right? You have to exercise it. If I want to go build my biceps, G loves building his biceps, so he's always in the gym doing curls. I'm like, dude, you got to do something else besides curls in here. He's like, man, I just like the biceps, man. So he just does the biceps, right? But it has to be worked out. And the reason that conviction is so important is because it communicates conviction and it communicates certainty, right? So like I know I love my wife more than anything. She's amazing. She's going to be the most amazing mother ever. She's my best friend. She's an amazing partner. Like I know that. I have such certainty about that. I'm convinced about what we're going to do in the future together. Like I have no doubt about it. You know, the company here, I know we have the best training product in the marketplace. I know that it produces results when it gets used. So like I can communicate that to somebody on the phone because I've seen it so many times over and over and over again. But in the very beginning, I didn't have all that. Like I didn't have the experience. I didn't have 7 years of hearing people winning on our program underneath us. So I had to go through and I had to start building that muscle. So this is a process that you need to go through, right? You need to go through a system of getting sold. Like, how do I get sold? Because being sold leads to conviction. And conviction is certainty. And when you're certain, people perceive confidence. And when people perceive confidence, they get more confident. So when your certainty increases, so does the customers. And when you are both certain, somebody makes a decision, hopefully in your favor. So conviction is extremely important. So how do you get sold on your product? How do you get sold on your company? How do you get sold on you? It's very simple. Sit down and ask yourself that question. Why my company? What about my company is different? Why should somebody do business with us over the competitor? Why should they pay more to do business with us? Right? And you got to start digging through and finding this because, again, it's a process. And then once you get this all together, you can start running through it and figure it out. The second thing, why your product? What is it? Why does somebody need to have your product? Why should they go into debt for your product? You know, you got to come up with bullet points for each of these. And then why you? What's different about you? What's different about you? Why should somebody do the deal with you? Maybe instead of somebody that you work with, let alone a salesperson at another company. Why should somebody do the deal with you? What do you offer in the deal? And if you can set up those three things, product, company, and you can come up with like 3 or 4 really solid points and just drill that over and over and over again. When somebody says, hey, well, you know, why should we choose you? And you can freaking just spit out right at them. Dude, it steamrolls them. It's like a freight train just running over somebody, like Mike Bonnet on a call. Put them back on their heels because they're like, whoa, I'm sorry I asked, you know, like, but they believe it, right? Because it's something that you've built the conviction for and you've built that certainty. So let's go to some callers real quick. I know we got some callers on the line. Natalie, who we got? Who we got first? King Wallace. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I feel like I'm in the presence of royalty.
Oh, man, that is a beautiful way to put it. I never looked at it like that. I'm very humble, and I'm a very humble person. So, you know, until I touch the levels that you guys touch, I kind of just stay a little bit of humble.
Let's hear it, man.
Man, I just, I was calling in. I seen the show go up. Just, I'm out in the streets every day with this product, trying to move these T-shirt CDs, for this record company that we have as a team, Street Rich Music Group, Depth Entertainment. Just want to get some knowledge, man. What can I do to better myself? Or like you were saying on live, the marketing process. I'm marketing on street. I'm basically pushing it myself out to the public, out to the people. What can I do to increase my sales and increase people, feeling like, hey, this is a product that we need. What can I do?
Yeah, dude. So this is a really great question. I'm actually working with one of our biggest customers on something that's very similar, right? So they're making this migration to a more direct, in front of the people type transaction where they're at trade shows, they're at kiosks, they're just out in the public. And so like you have to understand that there's a funnel of interest that somebody has. Like, I don't know if you can see that V that I drew on my paper here, but it's basically you have like a funnel, right? Like this. So you have a funnel. Imagine like an upside down V triangle, right? At the very top, somebody's ready to make a decision. At the very bottom, somebody probably doesn't have hardly any information at all about who you are or what you do. And so if you go directly to the person at the top of the pyramid or the bottom of the pyramid, whichever way you want to put the funnel, you're probably going to get a yes decision because that person is at the very bottom of the process of making a decision. They're already like, I already want music. I know what kind of music I like. And this dude King that just rolled up, he's got exactly what I want. Boom, let's make a decision, right? The challenge is how do you get people all the way through that funnel? And so when you are out passing out CDs on the street, trying to slang CDs, whatever, like you got to understand that at the very top of the funnel, you can't go out with, hey, I want to sell you a CD today, because you could offend a lot of people. You're not coming in at the same level of context. When we get back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this because it's really important. This is Young Hustlers.
Who is Dealer eProcess? Their support is kick-ass. With a service-first culture, their team of experts live and breathe websites and digital marketing. With the most outstanding leadership team they've worked on the retail floor, they know how to take the guesswork out of your digital strategy. They offer websites, chat, appraisal tools, digital marketing. Their goal is to present a full turnkey solution to your dealership. They develop their technology using the best research and trends, and they know how to convert traffic into leads. As always, their goal is to give the customer the quickest, easiest car buying experience possible, and they help dealerships dominate the market. You will find no one else in the automotive industry with their experience. It cannot be matched. Dealer eProcess is not your typical vendor. They are your partner. How to invest in real estate like Grant Cardone, but you don't have the cash to invest yet? Reach out to Chris Root and his team, where he will show you how to invest in real estate to build cash without credit or much money by learning how to wholesale real estate. We'll show you the right way to build cash so you can invest in multifamily apartments and other real estate investments like Grant Cardone. Reach out to @Chris Root Entrepreneur on Facebook now. Franchising is listed by Grant Cardone as one of the ways to become a millionaire. Let the experts at FranFinders be with you every step of the way as your partner, finding, buying, selling, and promoting franchises. With over 10 years experience, FranFinders is the company to help get set up with franchising, to help you get set up with owning your own franchise and finding a franchise that's right for you. Visit franfinders.com. That's franfinders.com to get started with your search today.
We're jamming today. This is Young Hustlers. Final segment. We're talking about ingredients to sales success. So far, we already talked about the importance of commitment to your company, to your craft, making sure that you're at the top of your game, you're committed to your product, your industry, knowing everything that influences your environment, like that, just that all in full attention into, really what you do to provide for yourself. Number 2, conviction. How do you get that belief that you can go out in front of anybody and they're going to be like, man, I got to make this decision. You got to conviction and belief to the degree that it actually moves people, right? For somebody who says, I don't like pepperoni pizza, right? And then you're able to communicate with them about the way that your pizza's made, the way that you guys have been doing it, your experience in Italy, researching all these different things, to where somebody who's like, nah, I don't really like pepperoni pizza, to where they're like, man, maybe this pepperoni pizza is different. Maybe this is the one that I've been looking for, I've been hearing about. Like, to where you're able to move somebody up in their confidence of trying something. You're influencing somebody, right? So that conviction and belief is really important. Before we went into the break, King was on the phone and he's out selling CDs. He's out trying to promote his artist, a record label or something like that. And so what I was telling him is that, you have a funnel of interest, right? So if you can imagine, a triangle, right? at the very top, somebody who is ready to say yes. They're looking for that music, that artist, and they were going to the store at that moment to buy a CD. They are like in market, ready to go. Let's do this. And then you have the people at the bottom of the funnel who you may not know a whole lot about. King was saying, how do I increase my conversions? Well, you got to get more people in through the bottom. See, some people will tell you to work the numbers game just up at the top. Hey, talk to 100 people and one of them might be interested in music. But the thing is, if you can get more people in the bottom of the funnel, you can insert more people at the bottom of the funnel, then you're ultimately going to work more people all the way through. So I like to use some type of offer of information, something free, something of perceived value to the customer. Now, if you're not selling CDs on the street and you're selling homes, what's going to be valuable to people that really isn't specific enough, like, hey, buy this house, but maybe it's, trends in the real estate market. Download this free article. Maybe it's, discover what the three homes closest to your home in your area just sold for. Why wouldn't somebody be interested in that, right? It's not saying you need to buy a house, but maybe somebody's just interested in that. Or maybe you own a car. Hey, see what your car's worth. The pre-owned auto market right now is on fire. Used cars have never sold for more than they are right now. And we have a really quick, easy way to, in 30 seconds, get you a value on your car so you know what it's worth. Won't cost you anything, just might be interesting to find out. Would you agree? You send them the information, right? So it's a way to funnel people in. So we were actually talking about that with the sales team this morning, is having a conversation with the right context. Let's go to the next caller.
I got Tyrell in Arizona.
Tyrell, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Grant. This is Jared, right?
Yeah, it's Jared, man.
Hey, Jared. It's Tyrell from Phoenix.
What's going on, Tyrell from Phoenix?
Hey, been following the show for about a year now, and I just joined my dad selling R&D tax credits full time, and I'm the only sales guy in the organization right now. There's a ton of opportunity down here in Phoenix, and the deals are huge. My question to you is, I'm just battling with what to focus on. I'm cold calling people, but I also want to start getting an inbound funnel, so I get a steady stream of inbound leads from Facebook ads, from guest posting, from seminars and stuff like that. Like, what would you say in terms of like how to focus? Because there's so much I could be doing.
Yeah, so that's a dilemma if you're a single person just trying to do everything. Like I literally I was just going through this internal conversation in my head. I talk to myself sometimes. I'm like, man, we got a lot going on here. We have all this stuff that we need to do in web and promotion here. In the sales team, we need to work on blah, 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 blah. Like, man, there's a lot going on. There's no way I can do it on my own. So like eventually you have to start growing because you can't do everything on your own. But until you get to that point, you have to look at if you're really interested in blowing it up. And by the way, like the information that we give you on the show or that you hear Grant talking about or the tips that we talk about, dude, the only reason we give that information out is because we want you to blow up. Like we want you to go big. And the information is focused on how you can go big. If you're not interested in going big, some of this stuff is going to seem really like out of bounds, left field, doesn't apply to you, and it's going to turn you off. So if you're interested in truly blowing it up, Tyrell, and I think that you are because you've been listening to the show for a year, dude, like you need to stop thinking with a 5-day work week and you need to start thinking with 7. And you need to start taking your sales time, which is probably, if you're in Phoenix, West Coast time, you're probably 6 a.m. in the morning until probably 7 o'clock at night. That's going to be your prime selling time because that's where, no matter where you're selling to in the country, you're going to be able to get somebody on the phone, right? Working east to west. Then outside of those hours, you want to work on content. So again, for inbound lead generation, you need to create content. You either need to start running paid advertising or you need to create content that people can download and you'll capture data like that. Because like we were just talking about in the previous example, like you have to give people to insert them inside your funnel. You've got to give them something today. This is how it works today. You've got to give them something that's valuable and something that they're interested in. So what are the things regarding R&D tax credits that people are going to be interested in? And you need to start creating content about that. Writing articles on LinkedIn, creating white papers or ebooks or infographics and targeting people. I mean, that's That's just kind of where you got to think with. You got to think with 7-hour or 7-day work weeks, massive amounts of call time, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. at night. And then when you're not on the phone, you need to start thinking about those other things that can create more inbound opportunities. So, I hope that answered your question. Let's go to another caller.
All right, I got Tatiana in New Jersey.
Who? Tatiana.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Hi, Jared.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Awesome. So basically, I actually use Cardone University.
Sweet.
I actually been training for about 3 years with you guys. I work for the Credit Pros, the credit repair company.
Oh, awesome. Congrats.
And yes, so the reason for the call today is because I like I said, I've been training for a very long time. I'm constantly training. I watch you guys on Young Hustlers. And I'm having a lot of trouble with the commitment side, since that's something that you guys are talking about today. Since I've been with this company for a couple years, I feel I used to be very, very committed to the program and what I actually sell. But I find myself struggling with clients and kind of just taking their stalls at face value and not really going into the real problem. I'm not sure if maybe you have some guidance on that.
I'm so glad you called with this question, because this is probably one of the most important questions that we could ever get asked, because so many salespeople end up in the situation that you're in right now. They end up, they're committed, they're all sold out, they're bought in, and then what happens is they fatigue. They start fatiguing, and they get out of this like full on like immersion. I'm a maniac. I'm a beast. I'm relentless. Tim Grover, right? I'm relentless. They transition into this like showing up every day, and they get on the hamster wheel. And next thing you know, they're like, man, I don't really like going into work anymore. I feel like I'm doing the same thing every day. Like what am I doing here? Man, I don't even really believe in the company anymore, the product. Like that's exactly what I'm talking about with these 3 things that I'm covering. And I haven't even gone over the last one yet. They have to be renewed. Like, I've worked for Grant for 7 years. Every single day I showed up. There were days that I was not fully committed. There were days where I had doubt. There have been times where I've been uncertain. Like it happens for everybody. Like, nobody's fully bought in all the time. It's just like you're an anomaly if that's the case for you, right? So it's such an awesome question that you asked that. So what do you do about it? Number 1, the way to get more committed where you're at is to get more goal focused, period. Like you have to be committed to something bigger than showing up and doing your deal every day. Like, unless you start a nonprofit and you're taking water to kids who are literally going to die of dehydration if you don't get them water, or, they're going to be exposed to elements and disease because if you don't get a house built for them, like, unless you're doing something like that where you're so purpose driven, it's going to be hard sometimes for you to connect the dots between what you're doing every day and where it's ultimately going to take you. So 99% of the time, when people have the conversation that you're having with me, it's because they've lost sight of their goals and what's important to them. They're not committed to their goals. And if they've been writing their goals down every day, they haven't dug deep. They haven't figured out like, okay, hey, let's revisit this, and done the deep dive. I talk about this. It's like the goal refresh, the goal deep dive, where you actually, instead of just writing down, I have this car, I have this house, I make this much money, I have 2 kids, they go to private school, blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing the robotic thing, you actually really deep dive into it. So I make this much money. Okay, well, what are you going to do with the money? And this is crazy. Like, if you ask somebody, just as a test, ask somebody that you think is goal oriented, when was the last time you wrote your goals down? They're going to be like, I wrote them down today. Good. What are they? And they're going to start listing them out. And one of them's probably going to be a number, right? So ask them. They say, I want to make $1 million a year. Good. What are you going to do with it? Probably buy a house. How big of a house? What kind of neighborhood? You going to buy a condo, or are you going to buy a house? Is it going to be on the beach? Is it going to be in the city? Is it going to be in the country? Is it going to be a ranch? Is it going to be a 2-story house, a 1-story house? Are you going to have a pool? Is there going to be a tennis court? Like, tell me about the house. Like, people don't get that deep into it. And so, like, you can become a robot with the goal thing, and you can think that you're goal focused, but you're not. And so being committed it means like being crystal clear on everything that you want, like crystal clear. And so if you can start with goals, that will get you more committed, because now you're not showing up to help people improve their credit at the Credit Pros. Now you're showing up to work closer to that 6,000 square foot ranch style house 25 miles north of San Diego in North County Coastal, with an oasis pool setting, an outdoor living area with a fireplace and 3 TVs so I can sit out there and watch sports games, with a window that goes inside to my gym, and then I can see the kids' nursery over here. And, you know, I've got this massive chef's kitchen with a Viking a stove top, and, you know, these massive stainless steel refrigerators, you know, like cold dip and hot sauna and steam room in the master bedroom. Like, dig in. Like, that's commitment. Commitment isn't, I make $1 million and I have a big house. And if you show up with that kind of commitment every day, then you will lose purpose. And you will be like, man, what happened to me? So you got to dig down deep into some of these things so that you can reinvigorate that commitment. That's why Grant's out in Malibu right now, dude. He's going through and he's recharging, right? When you push and you grind and you shove every single day, you need to recharge. And so he's out there recharging, and he's getting bigger goals. He's getting more exciting goals. And he's getting the batteries filled up again, right? For another massive push. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to get committed to your goals and why you're doing what you're doing in the first place. Only then can you go through and get more conviction and certainty about your product. And then it's, who else is out there? What do they do? What will we do that they won't do? You know, what's different about our product and the way that we offer it? How is our service different? How's our support different? You know, what's different about me? What do I provide that's different from a salesperson at another credit repair agency? What's different from me from another salesperson in my office at the same credit repair company? So, like, that's what commitment means. Like, commitment means being willing to go through all of that and being interested enough and having enough commitment and enough curiosity, which is one of the most valuable traits of a salesperson, to actually dig down and figure all that stuff out, right? That was deep right there. So look, commitment, conviction. Thank you for that call, by the way, Tatiana. And then the last thing is activity. These are 3 main ingredients for sales success. You got to be committed, you got to have conviction, and you have to have activity. No matter how committed you are, no matter how much conviction you are, if you don't get on the phone and talk to anybody, you don't knock on doors, you don't send emails out, you don't talk to people, you don't network, you don't follow up. Like, if you don't do any of that, none of the other stuff even matters. It don't matter at all. You know, if you not taking action means that there's something that's out before that. That means you're not committed. That means you don't have conviction and certainty about your product. And so if you find yourself with activity problems, it's likely an issue with one of the previous 2 things. You're not sold on your product, and you're not committed with why you're doing it. You're not connected to your goals. Because activity is the key. Because everybody will tell you, sales is a numbers game. Well, the numbers don't mean anything if you don't have commitment or conviction. Let's go to another caller.
All right, I got Philip in California.
Philip, what's going on, man?
Hello.
What's going on? Thanks for calling the show.
Hey, yes, this is Mr. Glenn, right?
This is Mr. Glenn.
Hey, I want to say thank you for taking my call right now, and I also want to thank Natalie for putting me through.
Wow, lots of gratitude right there, Philip. We love that. What's your question?
My question is, what is required of me to be able to work for you?
That's real easy. That's a great question. Glad you asked. Shoot a 60-second video, email it to careers@grantcardone.com. Make sure you include a copy of your most recent resume. We'll take a look at it, and if it looks like you're a fit and you can come be a killer with us, we'll set up an interview.
Okay, that is excellent, sir.
Easy enough, right? While you got me here, why don't you ask me another question?
Another question. Okay, in terms of what you're looking for people that work for you, what is the most important attribute? And just curious, would it be commitment, like you were talking about in the show today?
The most important attribute for somebody that we would hire, it would be willingness. Like willingness to be coached, willingness to learn, willingness to do something at a level that most people would think is ridiculous. It's the willingness to do the thing that most people won't do. So willingness is probably one of the most important things that we look at. But then we also look at capacity and competency. Like beyond that, like what are they coming in with? Are they going to add value? You know, as a startup company, we have different expectations, and we have different, we have different requirements for people coming in. But now we're not a startup anymore. Now we're an established company. And so with that, our customers have expectations. So first is willingness, and then competency and capacity. Thank you for your call.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's go. We got one more caller? All right, let's.
Rob in DC.
Rob, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
What's up, Jerry Grant? Jerry Grant, what's up, off speaker? What's up, baby? Jerry Grant, what's up? Doc Rob out of Washington, D.C. at Body One Wellnet, Facebook page, Body One Wellnet, YouTube, RLW and Associates. What's up?
Woo!
Oh, that's how you come in the room, man. You keep it so calm, man. Come on, man.
Somebody showed up today.
This is a lunch take, not a break. I'm taking stuff. Look here. So look here, I'm writing a book called Between the Sheets, a massage therapist guide to getting deeper into their clients' pockets and getting the money you deserve. Come on, let's talk the truth. Stop the lies, and it's in there like that. Bam. Look, one more thing. Guerrilla marketing. I'm going to give everybody this idea. This idea is $1 million idea. I don't care because I'm going to get $1 billion back. Live marketing. And what I do, massage therapies, what I do is I tell people, look, I like 5 clients, and I ask them, look, I need the artist to henna tattoo my website on your body. That's going to be revealed through the summer, and you get 2 free massages through the summer. 100,000 people see those people every day with my tattoo on their body that fades away, and that's more marketing. So this is what I do, man. Look, old school wisdom is not for today's enlightenment ideals. That's the bottom line, man. You step off the curb, step across town. That's what you do.
And I can't keep these alligators down. Woo!
That's how you come in the room. All this this is your dream, man. Come on,
dude. I love it, man. I love the energy, Rob.
Man.
I love the energy, man. He came in hard. He came in strong.
Man, look, I swing and I knock stuff over. You come in the room, knock it over. Don't be a hater. Knock that shit, man. What? That's what you do, man. I'm so glad to be on this damn show. What's up, yo? Oh,
man, I'm just trying to figure out if there's a question in there. I can't even. It sounded like a high-speed train was just driving by.
The question is, do you want to get paid? The question is, do you want to get paid? That's the damn question. And people talking about they don't. In my shop, I'm comfortable, yeah. But you have $100, $1,000 legal problem up there, but you comfortable, whatever, man. Here's $100. I want $150 back. But look here, man. That's what I do, man. Look, I ain't got time for this no more. I write the book, yo. Body One Wellnet. Yo, I'm out. Let's get somebody else some stuff. But you got a question for me? If not, I'm gone. I got to go make some more money.
And thank you for that, Rob from DC. There was some commitment and some conviction in that pitch right there. So look, 3 things that you must have to be successful. 3 major key ingredients for sales success. Number 1, you've got to be committed. Number 2, you've got to have conviction like my man Rob. And number 3, you got to take levels of activity that will persist through every piece of resistance that you'll ever have. That means you've got to have volume of activity, you've got to have frequency of activity, and you have to have consistency with your activity. This is Young Hustlers. Every Thursday, same time, same place, noon East Coast Standard Time. We come here to drop some heat and some thunder on you. So I appreciate you guys sharing Thursday afternoon with me, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget, GrantCardoneBootcamp.com, GrantCardoneBootcamp.com. Less than 20 seats left. I want to see you there. 3 days. You bring your product, you bring your process, you bring your prospect, you bring your problem, and we're going to fix it for you. And remember, the only people that condemn the hustle are the ones that have already given up on the hustle themselves.